At a time when punk was considered dead by many, when post-punk had seen its best days, when metal had grown its hair out, and the sounds that would be labeled grunge and alternative were just beginning to burble up, Dexter Romweber reached into the past. His music was rock and roll in its purest, simplest form. Timeless, raw, honest. No BS. Music critic David Minconi said of Dexter Romweber's band, the Flat Duo Jets, their biggest fans have always been other musicians. Romweber and the Duo Jets certainly made an impression on some notable acts to follow, including the White Stripes, the Black Keys, Nico Case, and Cat Power. Romweber and drummer Chris Smith were an integral part of the Chapel Hill music scene that attracted national attention in the late 80s and 90s. As a solo artist, Romweber would continue to play live and release albums well into the 21st century.
This is Carolina Finds.
He was born John Michael Dexter Romweber in Batesville, Indiana in 1966. His family moved soon after to Venice, Florida, and then in 1977, the family moved to Carrboro. Young Dexter formed his first band when he was just 10 years old. His older sister Sara was the drummer, and she started out on pots and pans. They eventually added a classmate of Dex's, Chris Smith, on guitar. While he was attending Culbreth Junior High School, Dex, Chris, and Sara joined another band. At the age of 18, while at Chapel Hill High School, Dex and Chris spun off into a two-piece group they called the Flat Duo Jets, named after the Gretsch guitar played by one of their idols, Gene Vincent. Dex stuck by his first guitar, a Sears Silvertone. Chris, nicknamed Crow, played a stripped-down kit. A microphone and some reverb was all that was needed to fill out the sound of the Flat Duo Jets. That and the energy, the rock and roll soul that they brought to the music. At this time, Dex was living in a little shack behind his family's house, which the boys affectionately dubbed the Mausoleum. This was due to the Addams Family-inspired Gothic decor. Their first release, In Stereo, was a 6-song EP that came out on cassette. It caught the attention of MTV and landed them a spot on the cutting edge.
This is my first Silvertone guitar that I brought to school with me and crooned to a young lady. And overlooking the bed is the Rock of Ages. We got Elvis at 19. This is our shrine to Soul Brother number 1. Bad Man Brown. You know my love for you. Take my life.
After that, the duo relocated briefly to Athens, Georgia, which proved to be a significant move because Athens was sprouting new acts like the B-52s, Matthew Sweet, and R.E.M. Tony Gayton's 1986 music documentary, Athens Inside Out, made a compelling showcase of these bands, including the Flat Duo Jets.
But we believe in cheap equipment because, like, God, when we did gigs without our original equipment, you know, and we used big, expensive stuff, and it was horrible. It was like, I mean, we didn't have the feeling or the sound that we have, you know.
Gayton would follow the Jets on tour the following year, collecting material for an untitled documentary.
In 1988, the Flat Duo Jets became a trio, with the addition of Tony or Tone Mayer on double bass.
When their self-titled full-length release came out, they landed a dream gig touring nationally with one of Dex's influences, the Cramps, and even scored a spot on Late Night with David Letterman. The Jets' second LP, Go Go Harlem Baby, became a favorite of White Stripes legend Jack White, who played it for Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page and U2's Edge in the rock documentary It Might Get Loud. After 4 EPs, 8 LPs, and 2 compilations, it seemed the rocket would keep going higher. But 1998 saw the release of the band's final album, Lucky Eye, a more polished effort filled out with horns and strings. Unfortunately, sales were flat, and shortly thereafter, Dex and Chris parted ways. By the early 2000s, Dex was working on new material. He released a trio of solo albums in the aughts and toured with Cat Power, Nico Case, and the Squirrel Nut Zippers, among others.
But tonight we're experiencing something much more demented, something much more American, and something much more crazy. I put it to you, Bob. God damn it, what's going on?
In 2006, the documentary Tony Gayton had been working on since 1987, now dubbed Two-Headed Cow, was finally released on the festival circuit.
Around 2006, Dex was joined on drums by his sister Sara, who had played with the underground outfit Let's Active out of Winston-Salem in the 80s.
The new duo's debut album, Ruins of Berlin, featured performances by Exene Cervenka from the LA punk band X, Cat Power, Nico Case, and Rick Miller from Southern Culture on the Skids. In 2013, Dex and Sara opened for the White Stripes in Boston, and were later invited to Jack White's studio, Third Man Records, in Nashville, where they recorded a single with Jack. In 2019, Sara passed away in a stunning blow to the local music scene, and especially to Dex. He kept playing and recording, but some close to him described him as never being quite the same after losing her. His final album, Good Thing Goin', was released in 2023. Dex himself passed away in early 2024 at the age of 57. One thing that many of the countless musicians who knew and loved him have said over the years is that Dex was an original, in his own class, someone you couldn't take your eyes off.
Like, I'd seen a lot of rock and roll. I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. I'd seen a lot of rockabilly, and I'd never seen anyone so genuine, so completely moved on stage that it just was just coming out of it. Like, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
It's not just musicians who love and remember Dex. Those who know the man and his music love him to this day. And you could see that on display at the first annual DexFest, held in 2025. Musicians, friends, and fans turned out to pay tribute to Dex Romweber's legacy. Opening night even included a reunion of Dex's Flat Duo Jets bandmates, Chris Smith and Tony Mayer. I hope there will be more to come.
His restless spirit will live on through his music and in the memories of those he shook. If you knew Dex, if you loved his music, loved the Flat Duo Jets, please leave a comment below. Thanks.